Welcome to this lesson on function notation. Typically we see functions written as y equals 6x plus 3. When an equation satisfies the definition of a function, we use function notation to write it. This is read as f of x equals 6x plus 3. We're going to start using this terminology, these functions, because as you go later in your algebra 2, you might see different functions such as g of x equals 5x minus 4. These are two different functions, and if we wrote them as y equals for both of them, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But if we have f of x or g of x, if I told you we're going to use the function f, you know that it's this equation. If I were to tell you the function g, you would know we'd be using this equation. For this function notation, when we wanted to find a variable, such as, let's say x is 1, then we are going to plug the 1 into the x for the equation. I'm going to show you an example. So for the following function, it says to evaluate f of 2, f of 1/2, and f of negative 3. So to find f of 2, here it says f of x equals x squared plus 4x. So to find f of 2, that 2 is in place of x. It's in the same spot. So in the equation, I'm going to plug the 2 in every place I see an x. So I'm going to put 2 squared plus 4 times 2. When I plug it in, I always use parentheses because that'll help me with my operations I have to perform. So 2 to the second power is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. F of 2 equals 12. Now I'm going to find f of 1/2. F of 1/2 means x is 1/2. So when x is 1/2, what is y? Well, I'm going to plug in 1/2 for all of my x's to find out. So we're going to go 1/2 to the second power plus 4 times 1/2. So 1/2 to the second power is 1/4 plus 4 times 1/2 is 2. So f of 1/2 equals 2 1/4, or if you like decimals, it would be 2.25. Here comes the last one, f of negative 3. Try this one on your own. Pause the video, try this one on your own before you see me do the answer. F of negative 3 equals negative 3 squared plus 4 times negative 3. This would give us 9. 4 times negative 3 would be minus 12. So f of negative 3 equals negative 3. If we had to evaluate the function given a graph, f of 0, f of 3, f of negative 3. What this is saying, when the x value is 0, what's the y value? For this graph, the x value is 0 right here at this point. And that point just so happens to be on the graph. So the x value is 0, the y value is 0, so the way we write our answer is f of 0 equals 0. To find f of 3, 3 is now my x value. So if I go over along the x-axis here to 3, I would need to go up to this point right here. That's where the x value is 3 on the graph. For the y value, I look to the middle, well, the y value here is 3 as well. So f of 3 equals 3. My last one here, f of negative 3. That means the x value is negative 3. So on the x-axis, I go here to negative 3. I have to travel up to my graph. The x value here is negative 3. The y value here is positive 3. F of negative 3 equals 3. Last example. F of negative 6 means I go on the x-axis, negative 6. The x value is negative 6, the y value is 0. F of negative 6 equals 0. To find f of 0, the x value is right here at 0. I've got to climb up my graph to this point here. The x is 0, the y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So f of 0 equals 5. Last one, f of 5, I'm going to go over along the x-axis to 5 here. Make sure I erase that, no confusion. I need to travel up my graph. Here is the point. X is 5, y is 2. So f of 5 equals